All right, welcome to Lendo Podcast. Inside the store, I'm together with a couple of young guys, and they call themselves young.
Let's yarn poetry.
Okay, let's young poetry. That's LYP. So how did that came about?
She did writings. You should answer.
Good morning.
No, but first of all, let's just get to meet you guys.
All right, it's cool. Good morning. I'm
Cool.
Shaded Writings.
Okay, your shaded writings.
Yes.
Oh, okay. What about you?
Alki Bulan.
What? Wow.
It's a household name.
It's a household name.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's nice. So, tell me about this group of yours. How did you guys assemble it? I like to think that all of you are poets.
Yes, we're all poets, but not majorly poets. Lettian poetry actually began early this year.
Can you just talk inside the mic?
Yeah, early this year, around March, April. Towards the end of March, actually.
Okay.
It was actually orchestrated by John Talker. I guess if you're in Bauchi, you must have heard about him or have seen him presented in one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's a group of young and talented poets, but not just poets. As I said earlier, we love arts. And then when he came to me with the idea, he knows I am actually a president of another creative club in Gombe State University. So he talked to me about the Lettian poetry, and I buy the idea. It was just perfect, and I felt okay. This is something you don't find in the city of Bauchi, and then it can be possible. That was the first statement I made. I told him it can be possible, and then I opted in totally for the idea, and we started meeting sometimes on Saturdays 4 and sometimes on Sundays still by 4. And then he took us through a teaching series because there were some guys who met us who are not really into poetry, but they write more like page poets. Page poets are those who just write down their ideas and then they don't really perform the poetry. They just pen down their ideas and then sometimes just keep it in their locker. Sorry to say. So he took them, or took all of us rather, through this poetry performance, the entire art of poetry. Poetry is actually a condensed use of word. It's different from other arts. It's to me, poetry encompasses all other arts: the music, the drama, the performance, any other art you can find, because it makes use of all of it, especially when these performance poets are on stage. Some people call poetry a one-man drama because you perform it, you act it, and you speak. The dialogue is there, the action is there.
Yeah.
You have your crew, just the lighting and everything is just there. So that's what poetry is about. And he opened us up to more of what poetry is about. I've been in lectures, and then there are things I heard from him that I haven't heard from the school, which is normal in our education system. That's by the way. So he took us through this series of poetry, and then it was an idea that came from him that, okay, this is Lettian poetry, let's do something for Nigeria. It's our Nigeria, so let's do something for it. And then he came up with this idea that 1st October is coming, our country is bleeding, and then everybody seems to be on the negative side of the country. Like Akeblan would say, if you have 5 young people and you ask them, okay, what do you perceive about Nigeria? You have 4 negative impression you're going to hear from them. And then one last impression would be slightly positive based on the words of hope. So we have actually agreed to host a program on 1st October 2022.
Wow.
And we tagged it Rebirth of Nigeria. And then we're going to do poetry. We're going to do poetry, and not just doing poetry. We're going to recalibrate youth towards being active and patriotic citizens despite the happenings in our Nigeria. Our Nigeria is precious. I so much believe in Nigeria. I'm 1% of the 99 that
believes in Nigeria.
Yeah, that believes in Nigeria. I
Wow.
am.
We need more of you.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so basically there's an event on the 1st of October
Yes,
that is going to assemble a lot of youth,
yeah,
and there's going to be a lot of poetry.
yes.
Like can you tell me if like I'm just someone that you just met for the first time, and then you want to tell me that okay, there is a need for me to be there, this is what I would be expecting.
Okay, she said almost everything from the purpose for which this group or persons came together to start this race. I call it a race because it will get to a time it's only the people who truly have the belief will still be on track to run. You know, understand? So, if I'm meeting you for the first time and I want to convince you, the first question I will ask you is a question I picked from a poem from John Talker, the person she was talking about, and Paul Oji. Paul Oji is one of us in Letzian poetry, and they did a piece, and in their piece there was a place they said $1 Nova rice reach your gari.
Wow.
They were trying to convince the youth to pick a PVC, and they were like, $1 Nova rice reach your gari. And yes, I'm a lover of poem, but then when I listened to that part, they were using English all through, but that particular place, it was pidgin, and I was like, yeah, this is it for me. Has dollar not risen to your gari? Like, how much do we buy gari before? How much is a plate of rice now? When I moved into Bauchi, my salary was perfect. 6 months later, the money I thought was $1 million became coins because my salary was not growing, but every other thing in the market is growing. There's nobody on the street that is not feeling the heat of this country. There's nobody on the street. Nobody. Our parents are crying, especially this month, where you see a child that cannot talk is paying school fees of over 350,000. You understand? So I don't think I need to convince you. I'll just ask you a question I know you have an answer to. Are you okay with the condition of this country? And if your answer is no, I'll tell you, please come. Let's discuss a way out.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's what I would do. Just go straight.
That's powerful. So now, how do you guys get members? Or if I want to be part of you guys, how do I become part of you guys?
Also, Letzian poetry, like we said, we are friends to friends who knew some. It's a network.
Okay.
I post, you post, we post, we after meetings we snap, we post, people ask questions, somebody who knows somebody who does poetry tells somebody, and that's how Letzian poetry has been growing.
Okay.
And I believe we are going to grow more, especially after this program in 1st October. A lot of people are going to come. We have reached out to schools, we have reached out to ministries, we have reached out to a lot of bodies.
Oh.
A lot of them. A lot.
I think that's the first time something like this has happened here. I don't know.
We want to break history.
Time, right? It's the first time.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd love to see how that will go. I've been to a lot of events, but not something like this. Even though I've been to like one poetry, like that one was more like a competition. So everybody was just trying to win
something.
Yeah. So, but like, you guys are poets, and I like to know, like, creative people, how they create their stuff. So, how do you like come up with materials?
I allow shaded writing go first. You know, poetry is a personal craft.
Yeah.
I have the way I do mine.
So everybody has his. Yeah. So
we just talk from our own point of view. So shaded writings, please.
Yes.
The mic to you. All right.
Thank you. Creativity, to me, is a mystery.
No one can understand.
Yes, actually, that's the word. No one can understand because I've met a number of people, quite a number, and they're like, "Teach me poetry," and I'm like, "How do I even go about this? Like, how do I start telling you, okay, You have to feel something to write something. You have to have passion about something to write it down. You have to think towards this to be able to come up with an idea that fits into or that best describe how you're feeling. As I always tell people that I was born a poet, and I didn't understand that. I didn't realize that until I just found myself writing. That's what I tell people. I just found myself writing. I just found myself. I used to have a diary, and my mom used to think it's when I get angry with her or somebody in the family that I go to write. And I'm like, no, mom, this is not what I'm doing. And then a friend took me down the memory lane back to when I was in urban college, as far back as primary 3, and then it was on a birthday. Actually, she posted that she remembers this friend that used to write notes and drop in the class, and used to tear papers and drop in the class. And I was like, I did that. And then I began to recall how I joined press club just to express that art in me from Divine. Yeah, that's my alma mater. So I joined press club, and then I did a number of debates, but that wasn't it. I know I have this public speaking charisma, but that wasn't it. There was more. So, and I found out that I could write some things. I could just, it's not easy. It's not everybody that does it. You can't just, even while I talk, some people will not be able to help you write what you are saying. It's as difficult as that. But I discovered it was easy for me. On the other hand, it was very easy. I could just write. I could write extra things. I could help people copy notes, and then sometimes I don't copy mine. That's by the way. So I could help people copy their notes. I could write behind my book unnecessary writings that sometimes when I pick up my secondary schools and read, and I'm like, did I write this? What was on my mind? So gradually it began to unfold to me that what I'm doing has a name. And that was the beauty of it, because a name is something everybody cherish, especially me. I'm black girl, sorry. I'm a black girl, and I like to be called black. Yeah, so it's a name is something everybody cherishes, and I discovered it has a name. A good
I like
name.
To think you.
Yeah, a good name. No, even the bad people like their name. Sorry to say. So, but then a good
You can
name.
be good, bad.
Yeah, and still love your craft.
Yeah. So it has a name, and it was poetry. It was poetry above all other. I've done other writings, like I write short stories, I write articles, I've submitted. Lo and behold, God said, sorry being religious, but God said it's poetry. Like, this is poetry. And then I didn't win any award for writing fiction. I didn't win any award for writing stories, short stories. I didn't win. But lo and behold, I won several awards, got several invitations for doing poetry, and I discovered, okay, this is my thing. It's poetry, and it's me doing poetry. Poetry most times comes from inspiration. I'm inspired by humanity. I'm inspired by breaking people out of depression, because most young people are depressed, and they don't tend to discover it. They don't tend to know what it is. They just find themselves being worried. They just know that, okay, man, I'm worried in one way or the other. There are issues that. So I write basically to give people hope, which I tag Feel Alive Again. I think it's on my social media handles. I tag it Feel Alive Again. So I write to make people feel alive again. It's a consign you should have that will trigger that writing for you. It's a passion you have in you that will trigger that idea for you. It's just like musicians, it's just like painters whom have a desire, who have a passion, and then that passion, that desire, that worry triggers them to paint something, or triggers them to make a melody of how they are feeling. It's just the same way. This is the same desire, this is the same passion, that's is the same consign that has made us that has made me, because poetry is a one-man thing, that has made me pen down some of my thoughts, some of my ideas, some of my concern, is this desire, is this push that I have inside of me. So poetry most times cannot be learned, but I've seen people who learn poetry and that they are doing good. But poetry is an inbuilt stuff. It's inside of you, and until you discover it, it won't have a name. It won't have an expression.
How from what you've said, like it appears to me that you actually were born here. Maybe you grew up here too, but then you went to go maybe to school, because you're saying urban college, you're saying divine, and all those things. So how do people like around you take your craft? Like, let's start from your family. How did they receive that you're actually a poet and this is what you do?
Yeah, actually, I didn't mention, but there was a time I left Bauchi to school in the east in Abia.
Oh.
But I've seen different parts of the world. Not different part of the world, sorry, different parts of Nigeria. It's beautiful.
It's still part of the world.
Yes. So yeah. So Bauchi is one of those beautiful places that your art wouldn't be really appreciated.
Okay. Now you're saying it.
Yeah, people will not really get concerned about what you do.
Yeah.
Bauchi is one of those wonderful places. Like a senior friend will say, Bauchi is where God lives.
You are really a poet. You're good with these words.
Yeah. So Bauchi is a wonderful place. It's a place that don't really accommodate some things.
But do you think, what do you think is the problem? Why is it like that?
The problem of a place is not always the place, it's the people. It's the way they perceive things, it's the way they have with all apology, it's the way they have shallowed their mind towards, it's just me, Bauchi, I'm contented, I'm okay, and that's just it. They don't go outside to look for what is out there. I'm not saying you should be over inquisitive that will lead you to doing some negative things. I'm saying you should be positively inquisitive about the things around you. I do poetry. Like I was doing poetry all my life, but I didn't get invitation to do poetry in my own place, which I call Bauchi, until they heard about me elsewhere. Like until they heard about me elsewhere, they heard about me. Okay, this is. Some of them don't even know I am a Bauchi-based person. They just, okay, I know this person, she does poetry and is in Gombe. I think she's Gombe. And then I'm like, no, I was born in Bauchi. Bauchi is one of the places I can call my home. So I was born in Bauchi. Bauchi is my place. So why would you haven't valued me, you haven't valued me, you haven't accepted you haven't accepted what I do, you haven't accepted my art until you heard about me elsewhere, and then now you want to claim me, and I'm like, no.
I think that happens to a lot of creative people.
Yes.
Not just you.
So
it is our place. We love it.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, regardless. So
we love it.
What about you? Sorry, I can't pronounce that your name yet.
Alkebulan.
What is that? What does that mean?
Thank you for asking. This is like the greatest part of my visit. When people ask, what is the meaning of your name? Like I said, it's a household name. There are a lot of people using it for content, using it as the part of their work. It is the first original black word ever created. It was used by the old Roman people. It means the Garden of Eden, the beginning of life, the history of the black man.
So you are the garden.
Yeah. It has a lot of definitions.
Yeah,
a lot.
Wow.
Alkebulan.
I like the name.
Yeah.
I like the way it sounds.
Alkebulan.
It has a lot of power.
Yeah. That's why I called it a household name. You know, growing in poetry, when I got to this place where I found this name, I just felt this is me. I started with the house name Adeyemo the Great. I wrote peaceful poems, peaceful spoken words. But when I found this name Alkebulan, I decided to look for the unpleasant and fix them.
It's not about the name, it's the way you pronounce it.
It's like having a thing you love. You know? It's appealing.
It's appealing. That's cool.
The name, even when I get tired and I want to drop it, and I'm just passing and a friend says Alkebulan, I'm like, wow, that's my name. I can't relent. You know, John Tucker will always tell me, die your name. And it has really kept me going.
Wow.
But then for poetry, going back to your question, for poetry and how I write, I would say I am one person I'm yet to meet a replica.
Wow.
I don't write.
Oh, wow. You are the Jay-Z of poetry?
I don't write. Like,
wow.
I can do you 100 poems.
Wow.
On a go with different topics.
That's a special skill. Yeah. I don't know if you know that.
I don't know, but I don't write. Like, I have tried to write. I write crap. But give me a microphone and give me a topic. Almost all the things I've done. If you record me in a studio and ask me to come and shoot the video, you will hate it. Believe me. So what I do is I get a crew who shoots video. They have their mic and I just go. One of my best work is also titled Alkebulan and it's online. Like when I was to do it, it was as a result of the pain that was coming up in different news. And I just sat back and I called a friend. I was like, let's do something. He brought his gadgets to my house. We brought down some stuffs in my house and we brought the place to a dark, like it was I don't know. I know a lot of us have seen Test by Moonlight. It's dark, there's a moon. Just created that concept and boom. A lot of people called me and said, boy, you are looking for trouble. You are going wild. You are trying a lot of people. You are mentioning names. I said, we are all dead people in this country. It's either we die for a cause or we die because we are already dead. But either ways.
Wow, you guys.
So for me, poetry is a free gift. God gave it to me. Like she said, she had to find out. I asked my elder sister, when you construct beautiful words and you can describe so many things in a sentence, what is it called? She said, check your dictionary.
Your sister is a poet too?
No, she writes.
Okay.
She writes articles, though she does not perform.
Okay.
She writes articles. And then she encouraged me not to do rhymes. She said, when you start saying congratulations to your nation, exaggeration, whatever, I think you people will like the rhythm. Say, but when you meet reasonable and learned people, they will ask, what are you saying? So I came to a place where I didn't really last doing poetry. I started spoken word.
Wow.
Started writing in my head. Went to so many. I've been to 3 slams. 3. And I have the awards in my house. First positions. 3.
The slam is like the competition.
They gather a bunch of crazy.
That's what they call it. Slam.
Crazy people that think like madmen. And somehow I just navigate. Wow. Somehow. There are people I know they are better. But at that point where there's life, you are one-on-one and they ask you for spontaneity, I just come through.
Wow.
So for me, poetry is as it goes. In songs, if I watch a movie, if I see a maltreatment, if I see injustice, if I see beautiful things, it just comes.
Yeah.
It just comes. So I have a lot of poems I wrote in my head.
Okay. You say you've been in Bauchi for some time now.
2 years, 8 months.
Okay. What are the like she said she said something about like the people and the way they are not really open to accepting things that are really not their thing, maybe new stuffs. Have you been able to see a different challenge aside that?
For me, I believe Bauchi is not an ordinary city. The very first prime minister came from this place. That's number one. When I was back in Abuja, I was in my office one morning and my next desk guy was playing a song, Born Sinner. And the rap was going on and on and on. I was like, who is this? But one thing that made me believe this person was black and from Nigeria was that there were a lot of Hausa lines in it. And I mean, this guy is good. He's like, dope. The guy is from Bauchi. I was like, what? Funny enough, I came to Bauchi. 3 months later, I just moved into my house. I was doing groceries in a store. This guy with dreads came to buy something. And my girl was like, hey, you know the song you told me? I said, this is the guy that sang the song. His name is BOC. I was like, what? I was like, hey, bro, I've heard a lot of things about you guys. Bauchi is a city. When I was living in Abuja, I thought everything I was doing was going to die. But when I came in, I believe you, there are a lot of people who don't accept craft. But Bauchi people who have talent. Like, when I say talent, I mean raw talent. I've seen rappers, you know, Dax, I've seen rappers who are as hot as that in Bauchi.
Oh.
I've met a lot of... There's no talent you are looking for in Bauchi that you will not find. If you're looking for an artist that can draw, they're in Bauchi. If you're looking for rappers, producers, the people in Bauchi are doing a lot of things. Look at Lendo Stores, for instance. Yes, you are doing it big. This is simple, but you are doing a lot for a lot of people. You are giving people voices. You are people who who don't even know how to operate Twitter, WhatsApp, whatever. You are putting their faces out there. So Bauchi is a small city that fights your talent, but if you are strong, you would survive and you would do very well. For me, I believe Bauchi is a great place.
Wow.
And we just need to do more awareness. And that's why 1st of October, we are gathering people at Demo Hall at the Federal Polytechnic. The purpose is because if we can do it, then you can do it. We believe after our event, a lot of other people are going to organize events in this city to create platform for people to break out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's the future of this? What's the future? Let's say 5 years?
Next year.
Okay, let's say next year.
Not 5 years. We are going global.
Wow.
Like, it's not going to be a group. It's going to be a movement where people in US can say they are from Yarn Poetry.
Wow.
Yes. It's social media era.
Yeah. So it's easy to navigate, right?
Yeah. We are thinking big. We are thinking Tafa Balewa, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. So before we go, I'm going to be there to see you guys. Are you guys performing?
We'll be glad to have
Live.
You'll be performing
Live.
I'd like to see some of that. Please pronounce your name again.
Al-Kebulan.
Oh, God. So, okay. So how is it going to be like?
Yeah, we tend to tell people a little
Is
history.
it going to be like the normal concert, like concert settings? This person comes to perform. This person comes to perform, or how is it going to be? I want to have like a picture
of what it looks like. Okay,
Yeah.
so at the beginning of it all, we intend to talk a little about the people involved in Yarn Poetry.
Okay.
We have dignitaries even from the government house who have shown a lot of support and concern, told us they're going to be there full force. We have a lot of people like Jojera Multimedia. We have people we have spoken to, so we intend to talk a little about Nigeria.
Okay.
You know, the Nigeria our youths are seeing is the one that has been used and abused.
There's another Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay.
We met a director.
Are we going to see it there?
Yes.
I'm there.
We met a director who is at his late 60s.
Okay.
And the man says, I will support you guys. I am ashamed of my generation because what they handed over to us was not what we handed over to you guys. So we have decided to look for that
Appreciate
Nigeria.
him for his honesty.
Yeah. So we are looking for that Nigeria that they handed over to them. Yarn Poetry found it. And we believe that Nigeria has not left. So we want to show it to a lot of youths.
Wow.
1st of October. We just want them to see.
Wow.
You know, if you don't know the worth of a thing, you can never place a value on it. So we want to show you what Nigeria is. She's a beautiful woman that has been abused.
Nigeria.
She's going through rehabilitation and she's coming out strong.
Wow.
We believe in Nigeria. I wrote a piece, The Revelation of a New Nigeria, after listening to Martin Luther King. I have a dream. And the revelation of a new Nigeria, the line says, I see a city built in gold, where honesty and integrity sojourns, where our songs will rejuvenate the good spirit of our country, where we will spend unity as a legal entity.
This is a piece, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it. Give me, this is the Nigeria we are talking about.
Wow.
It is,
wait, I beg. I don't believe. I don't believe.
No, but this is what Nigeria is.
Yeah.
Do you know there were times where a naira, you need $1.25 to buy a naira?
I don't want to think about the current rate now.
700.
I think it's about 700.
Yes. The truth is that they are not even allowing us access to the actual price.
Yeah.
The banks tell
true.
you this, but then when you go, they will not give you change.
Yeah.
They will tell you they don't have it available because they cannot say otherwise what the government is saying. But the black market guys, they know how they buy it. And everybody does business to profit.
Wow.
So dollar is now rice and beans. It's a commodity people hoard.
That's sadly unfortunate. But we are happy to have you guys.
Thank you very much.
At least people like you guys, young people like you guys, are actually thinking of fixing it.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's a new Nigeria you guys have found, and it's going to be on display 1st of October.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be there, and I'm going to come with my guys too.
Yeah. You have to come see.
Yeah, we want to see this new Nigeria. So, for the first time, Lendo pronouncing the name Al-Kebunla.
That sounds Arabic.
Okay, Al-Kebulan.
Al-Kebulan is Alkebulan.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for coming, and
Shaded Writings.
Shaded Writings. Thank you for coming.
Thank you too.
And just in case there is John Tucker is here.
The man we have been talking about.
Yeah, the brain behind everything, and then
Ink
Ink heart.
Please pronounce it to the mic.
Ink heart, like
Okay,
ink and heart.
Ink
Yeah.
heart. Oh,
Yes.
Omo. Thank you guys for coming. Lando Podcast, Culture Talk inside the store.